For the next couple of years, we really want to build on the foundations we're setting in place this year. Now we've got a standard module template, automated processes, a clear baseline. Now we've got that foundation, it means we can really start building on that. So what we'd like to be working towards is getting lecturers to think about creative learning materials, more things they can do now that the baseline is taken for granted. So we've got so much of the administrative stuff out the way now. It gives us a strong platform to do more with e-learning, really get people being more efficient, being more creative, that sort of stuff. Relationships, building trusted relationships with the people you're working with is the number one. They need to know that you're there and you know what you're talking about, that you're not just there to show them how to press the buttons, that you understand why these things are important, where they can make a difference, and that they trust you enough to let you help them. Because if they think you're just there as the guy who delivers the workshop, there's nothing in it for them. And they've got to believe that you will support them through the whole process. You'll show them how and you'll be there for them to see it through. And if you've got those trusted relationships right, it all stems from there. Because one good bit of practice will lead to some more and the word will spread. And I think our model of having people on the campuses, on the ground, actually with the people, works really well. That there's somebody that they can identify with, that key person that they can trust. What else matters? We do have, as we talked about earlier, a policy in place that says all modules will be on Student Central and they will have at least this core baseline material. And I think that's great for us at this time, because we've been building now, we've had Student Central for about 10 years. We've been building up, letting people grow at their own rate, encouraging people, bringing things in gently. We're now at that critical mass where we can say, and for the rest of you, here's the policy. The policy says you will use it. So we can guarantee now a much more equal student experience. All our students will be using Student Central. All our students will find all their modules on Student Central. Which means we can just mop up the people who are really resistant to it and make sure students get a really excellent, equal experience. The risks, well, as I say, bringing in a policy now is probably the right time for us, but it does mean there are people out there who've not engaged with e-learning up till now, and we're now saying, you have to. And we don't really want to come across like that. It breaks down the trusted relationships we've built up to go in there and say, oh well, you have to do it now anyway. And we don't want to upset people like that. And we don't want to enforce e-learning where it isn't most appropriate. We talked earlier about how in the arts faculty, often if you're working in labs, you're working in workshops, you're doing paintings and things, there's less relevance to posting lecture notes online. So we're not saying you have to do that. And hopefully we're quite clear, but we don't want people to misinterpret what we're at here. We want to improve the student experience, we want to engage students in learning and teaching, we want to help people be more efficient, but we don't want to enforce e-learning for the sake of it. We're trying to do a good thing here, and we don't want to be mistaken there.